Welcome to Eternal Elements Learning Podcast, brought to you by Atyasa Online. These podcasts are a part of the audio certificate programs on Atyasa Online. You're free to take these podcasts on your desired portal also, should you only wish to learn on the go. Thank you so much for engaging on these podcasts, and you can connect with the author on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Hi, welcome to Eternal Elements, brought to us online. This is Season 8, and I'm talking about international business. I spoke about liberalization, privatization, globalization. I talked about the dynamics of globalization, and I also talked about the dimensions of international business. However, there is a strong economic intelligence behind globalization of business. And therefore, it does make tremendous business sense to study the aspects of international business. In this podcast, I'm going to introduce you to the dynamics of economics when it comes to international business. I'm going to talk about the trade theories. These trade theories were developed by economists, and the idea behind a trade theory is both for the government and for the businessmen, where governments decide on policies and businessmen decide on how to conduct international business. The trade theories look at what are the products that should be imported and what are the products that should be exported. The trade theories also look at with whom should we trade. And while we do discuss with whom we should trade, the theory also looks at how much should we trade. Some of the trade theories prescribe that the governments must intervene and influence the trade patterns, whereas certain trade theories say that there must be a complete free hand and allow the business to operate in the free market. This gives rise to two types of trade theories, the interventionist and the free trade theories. The interventionist theory talks about the invisible hand of the government. That means the government controls the volume of the trade. Whereas the free trade theory talks about a phenomena where the market forces decide based on demand and supply what to import and what to export. These theories are fascinating because once we understand these theories, we get to know how should we conduct ourselves in the domain of international business. So what do these trade theories talk about? Like I said, they talk about how much we need to trade, which products to trade, with which countries we must trade, and we can also derive certain predictions, prescriptions out of it. How much should we trade? The quantity, the volume. What type of products should we trade? And which are the specific countries, therefore, we can shortlist and we can decide to focus on to get into international trade. Now, let's understand one thing. In international business, if you enter into a wrong country, you may have a fascinating product. You may have great opportunities. You may have great consumers. But if you land up in a wrong country, you're going to have a problem because what's going to happen is that the business just won't happen. And there is an element called the cost of foreign. What is this cost of foreignness? It's the cost associated with doing business in a foreign country. And there can be a liability associated with it, which means if you have to wind up your business, it costs you a lot of money. One of the researchers that I was reading through said that for a large enterprise, it could be as high as 100,000 US dollars per person per day because you're investing in capacities, you are investing in supply chains, and you're investing in a whole lot of marketing activity and campaigns. And for all you know, you may also be having a lot of local manpower and expats running the show. So welcome to the world of the economic theories of international trade. In the subsequent podcasts, I'm going to take up each and every theory, and I'm going to discuss the theories of interventionists, and then we will move into the theories of free trade. Thank you very much. This is Niket. Signing off from Eternal Elements, brought to you by Press Online. We're in Season 8, talking about international business. See you in the next podcast.